G'day guys, John here from Balo Marine, and today I'm in my backyard. So, despite what I've been told to do, I went on Facebook Marketplace and bought myself a new boat. So today we're going to have a look at it and see if there's any repairs that need to be done on it. So here it is. So, in the last video we saw that Jock has his advisor. Coco's just reminded me, we didn't cue the music. Here's a go, Coco. Yeah, so it's not as exciting as D2 or the Redback, but this little beauty cost me $150, and I know it's got a couple of leaks. So I've just pumped it up. I'm going to give it a clean and try and find out where those leaks are. As you can see here, it's bubbling a lot, so that tells me that there is a hole here or an air leak. So that's one spot that I will have to resurface. There's some detergent in the water, so that's why it's bubbling so much. Really good way to find where the holes are in this. So at the moment I'm not too focused on cleaning it, it's more about trying to find where the air leaks are. So I know that there's definitely one there, but we already knew that from when I walked around the boat before. But it's just really good idea to see the air coming out and the bubbles coming out like that. That way we know there's a problem there that needs to be fixed. So another part that I do try and focus on is where we pump from, to make sure there's no air leak there, which in these there doesn't seem to be. Really good sign. Okay, so that seems to be the only major air leak in it. Now, if I was to do it properly, I'd be going to get a two-part glue, two-part PVC glue. I paid $150 for the boat. I want to do a bit of an experiment. So, I'm going to try using some stuff I've got at home, which is just PVC plumbing glue. We're going to test it out. If it doesn't work, then I'll go buy the correct stuff. But with something like this, it only has to travel 20 metres or 50 metres out to the boat. So I don't need it to be perfect, I just need it to hold air. So I'm going to test it, see what happens. So I'm going to fix that patch, or patch that hole rather. I'm going to re-glue where it's come apart at the transom, and also one of the handles has come off here, so I'll reattach that. So I'll give it a light sand, and then I'll use the PVC glue. Let's see what happens. Can't go spending too much money on something that costs next to nothing. So, alright guys, I'll start preparing this and then we'll get stuck into it. So guys, this is the stuff that I'll be trialling, see if it works. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It's just some old plumbing glue that I had laying around. It's clear, so you won't even notice it's there. But I've got to wait for the boat to dry off first, so I've just left it sitting in the sun and we'll get back to it. Oh, alright, sorry guys, didn't realise you were back. So now I'm just going to clean this up with a bit of, at the moment I'm using metre just to dry it out. I'm going to try and clean basically where I'm going to glue. Put some glue in there, and then I'm going to come back over the top once that's dry and glue the rest of the seam back down. But I want to try and get the glue into where the air leak is, and I'll glue the rest of the seam back down. So I've given it a light sand. It's very hard to film me sanding in there because it's a very tight area. So I'm just going to try and clean anything out of there, like so. Just wipe off the excess, and we'll get our glue. Nice and gluggy, and it smells good too. So we're just going to try and get right in there. Fill up that void. Like so. Try and massage it in there so that we fill up that void, and then we can come back and go over the top of that seam, and that should stop the air coming out if I've done it right. Chances are I haven't, but we'll soon find out. We'll give that a chance to dry, and I'll go back over the top and close that seam right up. Alright, be back in a minute. Oh, he's back. Okay, so I've let that dry a bit. It seems to be holding on. So now I'm just going to glue the rest of the seam back down without putting too much pressure on it and opening that gap back up. And that should be enough. Now to just press it down, and I'm going to have to stay like this for the next 5 to 10 minutes. So I won't bore you with sitting here watching me hold it, but I'll come back once this is done. Okay guys, so I've glued it up, and now I'm just going to let it cure overnight. I've just deflated it a little bit, and then I've put it up against the fence, and I'll put something there to stop it from blowing away. But there she is. I deflated it so that I could glue it properly, and we can see that's the seam that I've glued. All seems to be looking good at the moment. I've also glued those back parts. Can't really show you at the moment because it's hard up against the fence. But that's one of the parts I glued, and same on the opposite side, which is really hard to show you. So in 24 hours or so, I'll pump it back up and see if she holds air, and then give her a bit of a clean, and I might even take her out on the river. Alright guys, see you when it's done. Okay guys, so the boat has stayed inflated overnight. I'm going to go test it out on the water, see how she goes. I'm going to deflate it a little bit before I put it on the roof of the car, but she stayed up, so yeah, let's hope that she stays afloat out on the water. Alright guys, let's get to it.
Why do I try? Why do I try? Why don't you see why I can't sleep at night? Why do I try? Why do I try?
guys, I'm back home now. So I took her out. The motor broke down on me, or stopped working, so I'm gonna have to take it apart and have a look at it. That might be a video a little bit later on, but the boat floats. Stupid me, I forgot to take the pump with me when I took the boat out, so that's why one of the sides was a bit more deflated than it should have been. But all in all, I'd say it was successful. I didn't stay out there long because there was a lot of jet skis around and it was throwing out a lot of waves. But alright guys, well, thanks for watching, and if you like it, again, like, subscribe, comment, share, do all sorts of things because it really helps us out. Alright guys, thanks for watching, see you in the next video.